Predator-prey relationships are an important part of a food web. Some animals eat other animals, but lots of animals eat only plants. So where do the plants fit into a food web? Plants aren't considered prey, but they are the ultimate source of energy for the entire food web. Trace any food web backwards, and you can end up with plants almost every time. On the most fundamental level, you can think about a food web as a way to trace the flow of energy through an ecosystem, from one organism to another. A predator gets its energy from eating prey. Other animals in the food web get their energy from plants. Plants are the foundation of Earth's food webs. But where do plants get their energy to support the food web? The answer is right over your head. Sunlight is almost always the first type of energy to enter an ecosystem. Every other form of energy in the ecosystem ultimately derives from sunlight. A producer is a living thing, usually a plant, that can live directly off the sun's energy. Another word for produce is make. Producers make their own food. You and I can even eat some of it, like strawberries or lettuce leaves. Plants use sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide to create their own food, and food that is eaten by others in the food web. Other members of an ecosystem cannot make their own food. A consumer must feed on other living things to get food and energy. Another word for consume is eat. Consumers eat other living things. There are three big categories of consumers. An herbivore is a consumer that eats only plants. A caterpillar is an herbivore, and so is this beaver. A carnivore is a consumer that eats only animals. This snake is a carnivore. A consumer that eats both plants and animals is called an omnivore. I am an omnivore, and so is this black bear. Are you in the herbivore, carnivore, or omnivore group? Producers and consumers in an ecosystem create waste, and they eventually die. If waste and dead organisms are not somehow removed or used, they would soon pile up and harm the living things. Imagine what it would be like in your neighborhood if trash and sewage were not removed. Decomposers are the ecosystem members that consume waste and dead organisms. Decompose means break down. Decomposers break down waste and dead organisms and return important molecules to the ecosystem. Fungi and bacteria are decomposers in many ecosystems. You could call them nature's recyclers. Which of the following is a decomposer? A. A caterpillar that eats leaves from live trees. B. A maple tree that makes sap. C. A bat that eats insects. Or D. A fungus that grows on a rotting log. Yes, a fungus is a decomposer.